Galaxy S25 Ultra, I will be doing a complete teardown of this device, starting with the back, in order to assess the repairability of this smartphone. How easy is it to replace anything inside this device? This is what I'm going to do. For the first step, I'm going to use a heat gun in order to hit the back of the device. This is going to be the entry point, and let's get started. I'm gonna use a suction cup in order to pull the back. Apply pressure, lock in the suction cup, and then start pulling slowly. And as you can see, the device has an opening. While pulling slowly, you're going to have a small opening just like this. This is enough in order to insert a guitar pick. The guitar pick is inside. Here's the guitar pick inside the S25 Ultra. So here again, I'm gonna hit the area on the back in order to proceed. So this should be enough in order to continue removing the back. Be careful near the corners. There are more double-sided tape on that area. And then you just continue. If the temperature is right, it is going to be very easy to go through the back and the frame of the device. So I'm gonna stop here since I didn't hit that much the top of the device near the cameras. I'm gonna go back here and continue to the other side. So do the same thing. So here also it is a lot difficult to continue. I might need to reheat the back again. So let's do that. I'm gonna hit this area and the top and continue. Again, this should be enough for me to continue removing the back safely. So make sure the guitar pick is inserted just a little bit while you go through the double-sided tape. So now let's do the top. Guitar pick in, slowly moving on the top. And that's it. You can remove the back. So here's the Galaxy S25 Ultra open. The back glass is here. It is attached with double-sided tape only, nothing else. First thing that I see is the big camera here, this big zooming camera, the periscope. It has shrunk down in size compared to the previous Galaxy device. A lot of graphite tape on the back in order to dissipate the heat very quickly since this one has the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is a very powerful processor. So nothing very different. I do see here that it is missing the 5G antenna that I had on the previous Galaxy devices. I had one 5G antenna here and the other one up top. Here there is one missing. Maybe this is how they are going to continue moving forward with only one 5G antenna here. On this device you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 18 screws to remove before you can start removing any component inside this device. So generally all the screws on a Samsung device should be the same. If you want, you can keep track of which one you remove. On the top here you have this one is a black screw. It is the only one that goes here and of black color. This one also is a smaller screw. It is the only one of its kind. All the rest should be identical. So after this, I can start removing components from the inside of this S25 Ultra. The first thing that I'm going to remove is the graphite tape here, and going back to this wireless charging coil and all the way to the bottom to the loudspeaker. So before you do that, remove the flex cable for the wireless charger. It's this one. Remove it. Then start peeling. Make sure that you use a tool to undo this part and that one, or you can simply start pulling from here, from the bottom. And you see it got removed, and you do the same thing for this one. Just like this, very easily, you can remove it from the frame of the device. So same thing here, pull slowly to remove it. And here's everything removed. The wireless coil of this S25 Ultra, wireless coil and NFC antenna. Wireless coil, NFC antenna. So right after this, the next thing that you need to remove, and it is critical that you remove that to avoid any damage to your smartphone, is going to be the battery cable. This one is the battery cable for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Let's remove that one. Do not remove it with a metal tool. Use a plastic tool or use your finger. Here's my finger. Disconnect. While you pull this, if you have removed all the screws, make sure that you pull it while applying a little bit of pressure on the motherboard so that it doesn't pull the motherboard at the same time. So the battery cable has been removed. Next, I'm going to disconnect the loudspeaker here, which is covering all the other flex cables that are coming from the motherboard. Here, this one, on the previous device, it used to be one big flex cable. Now they have separated the flex cable going down. This one is the same, and you just need to put your finger here or the tool in this area or here. This is the place to put the tool, and you pry it out. You can use your finger, just have your finger here, your nail inside here, and pull just like this, and you have removed the loudspeaker, the main speaker of this Galaxy S25 Ultra. Loudspeaker with the haptic feedback. That's why it is a little bit heavy. It is not very light by the standard of a normal speaker. So that has been removed. So I was saying they separated the cable in two, but the cables comes here and joined together. So what does this mean? If it was one cable coming from here all the way down, this is prone to damage since it is separated here. It is more fragile having the cable separated this way than having one big cable just like this coming from the top going down. So that's my small concern. Then I will remove the cable here. You can remove it with your tool. Any plastic tool will do it. Here's one of my plastic tool. Just put it down, and here is it out, disconnected. You need to do the same thing up top. Put the plastic here near the cable and disconnect it. Then now take it at the bottom, at the base, and start pulling to remove the cable and the small tape that is attached to it. Main cable removed. Then the next one is going to be this one. This one also is a main cable coming from the motherboard and going to the screen. Here also put the plastic tool here and pry it out. Disconnected. Then I'm going to do it for this one, the last one, sub, which is going to carry the power if you're charging your smartphone. This one is out and it's here. So the battery of this Galaxy S25 Ultra, 5000 milliamp hour of battery inside your Galaxy S25 Ultra. And first thing that I see is they have changed the way they put the battery inside. Previously it was you need to disconnect one side of the battery. By disconnecting I mean pull this plastic one side and you pull it this way in order to lift the battery. It was working most of the time, but not always. And the big issue that me inside my videos have been able to find was that it gets difficult and you might even cut the plastic that is here. A plastic with a glue attached to the end of the plastic. If you pull it too hard, it is going to get damaged and you will cut the plastic. And then you will have to revert in using alcohol in order to help you remove the battery. Or if you want, you can use heat also to help you remove the battery. I have covered all of these methods on all of my videos about batteries. Using alcohol to remove the battery and using heat by hitting the screen of the device slightly and slowly, then you can pry out the battery very easily. So with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, they have redesigned the way to remove the battery and it gets a lot easier. Let me show it to you. The first thing that you can see here is the arrows. So just pry it out this way, like this. You just need to follow the arrows. I'm pulling this side here. Pull it all the way, just like this. And you do the same thing with the bottom. All the way, just like this. And the top. All the way, just like this. And here, the last one. And then you pull it out all the way, just like this. So after you've done this, the only instruction that you have is to take the device, do this, and the battery should drop out of the device. 1, 2, 3. Here's the battery out. This is a lot easier than using a plastic on this side and try to pull. The difficulty of removing the battery on this device, the S25 Ultra, is 2 out of 10. Basically, anybody can do this. This is nothing similar to what they had previously. Well done, Samsung. This is the way to move forward. Then this plastic, if you want, you can remove it. If you don't want, you can keep it inside for the installation of the new battery. But usually, if you get a new battery from Samsung, the battery will come with a plastic just like this. so that you can use a new one and not use the old one. If it is an aftermarket battery, it might not come with this plastic and you might need to use this one again. So I see here also what I predicted. Moving forward, all the smartphones like Samsung, they will increase the size of the vapor chamber in order to increase the heat dissipation on the smartphones. They are going to increase the size all the way to the maximum so that it does not impact the rigidity of the device, so that the device does not become a lot easier to bend this way, sideways, twist the device. It won't get to that point. If they improve or increase the size of the vapor chamber all the way to the edge, it might impact the rigidity of the device and the device might get a lot easier to break on the corners here, here, and there. So that might be why it is just this area for now. They might increase it 10% next year, push it a little bit up and on the sides, and continue to do that. But they cannot infinitely keep growing the thermal chamber on their device going forward. At one point, it's going to be a limitation. So this is the battery. Removing it and replacing the battery is very easy on the S25 Ultra. Before you do anything, just remove the SIM card tray. SIM card tray removed. For the next step, you need to remove 3 screws at the bottom. Then you will have access to the charging module and the SIM card reader. All 3 removed. Just take your plastic tool and try to put it here, pull up, and you get the charging module and the SIM card reader attached to it removed. Very easy. If your device does not charge, this is the stuff that you need to remove and replace. So now what I'm going to do is to disconnect all the flex cables up top and then continue with the removal of everything inside this device. Disconnected, disconnected, disconnected. All the flex cables have been disconnected from the motherboard. I simply need to do this and remove the speaker, the front speaker of this S25 Ultra. Here's the speaker of the S25 Ultra. You can see already I have some stuff inside, which means that I have been using this device very well. So now the next thing is to disconnect this flex cable for the front facing camera. Disconnected. Then simply pull to have the motherboard with the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip removed. S25 Ultra motherboard. A lot of heat dissipation material on the back here. Half of the motherboard is camera modules. As you can see, it is getting a lot smaller, but the cameras are getting bigger. 200 megapixels main camera sensor. This one is the one that zooms all the way to 100x. This one starts at 10x going to 30x, I believe. And this one is the ultra wide. So at this point, you might be asking, if you have one camera that is bad, do you replace it? Yes. You can see on the back here, you have individual flex cables for each camera modules. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Samsung has done something here. These are not fused like they were on the S22 Ultra, S23 Ultra. Here you can see they are all moving. Not everything is moving. It looks like the ultra wide and the main camera sensor have the same frame. So I can simply disconnect and remove all the cameras. So the periscope zooming camera has been removed. This is the periscope zooming camera. Removed. Just like this. You can replace this if you have one that's bad. The next is going to be this one, the main camera sensor. Simply do this, disconnect. Like I said, this one is connected to the same frame as the ultra wide. So you need to disconnect the ultra wide also. Ultra wide disconnected, and here is the main camera sensor with the ultra wide attached on top. So you might say, now if you want to replace the ultra wide, how do we do it? In order to replace the ultra wide, the way that I did it in the past, where everything was fused together like this, was to cover the flex cables, then hit the area like this. For example, I will hit this area with a heat gun, make sure that it is heated for maybe 1 minute at half the power of the heat gun that I'm using, so somewhere like 600 watt of power, and hit this area. It will be good. Then I will simply pull the camera out. You need something to soften the double-sided tape that is attaching the camera to the frame. After you've done that, you can simply pull the camera out. So this is the way that you're going to do it in order to remove the camera on the frame of the camera module. So these two are like this. You can remove this one, but trying to remove the main camera sensor might be a lot difficult, and you will ultimately damage the camera module. So if you have to replace this one, you can do it. If you have to replace this, you can also get a replacement camera that comes with the frame and without this one. That's possible also. But saying that you want to remove this, in my opinion, you're going to damage it. So the last one, the last camera here is this one. Just disconnect it like this. And here is the 50 megapixel camera telephoto, this one removed. You can replace it by itself. So after removing all the cameras, you can see this is what is left of the Galaxy S25 Ultra motherboard. This is the only thing left. Here is the motherboard of this S25 Ultra after everything removed. The Snapdragon 8 Elite and all the memories, everything is inside this PCB board. So after I have removed that, up top here you don't have anything else to remove except the front facing camera. So in order to remove the front facing camera, you will need to put a blade here and here, cut the tape. This is something that Samsung need to fix. They do not need to glue this with hot glue and have the camera fused all the way like this. This gets a lot difficult to remove since it is not simply double-sided tape or simply small glue. It is hot glue that they used in order to attach the front-facing camera. They were doing double-sided tape to fix the camera on the inside. I don't know why they stopped doing that for the S series and started doing only hot glue in order to attach the camera. You just need to take the blade, put it here at the extremity, do this all the way to the bottom and do the same thing all the way to the bottom. Then you come here, you take it by the cable, pull slightly. If it does not move, you will put the blade here near the side of the camera. This is a solid place to put the blade and pull. If you pull after cutting the double-sided tape, it will start moving. So that's how you remove the camera on the S25 Ultra. If you want to replace the screen, just get a new screen with a frame. It is a lot easier than simply getting a screen that is not really a good long-term solution. If you get a screen that comes without a frame, you will need to remove the glass and the screen on this one, then attach the new screen that comes without the frame on the frame of this one. And the long-term durability of your device after doing that is not very much long. So this is why I say if your device has a broken screen, if you cannot fix or replace the glass, if the LCD is good, just get a new frame like this with the screen attached. This is a more permanent solution to fix your screen, and in the future you won't have any problem with the screen peeling off and getting separation from the screen and the frame of the device. So this is why I said if you have a broken screen on a Samsung device, those modern Samsung device, get a screen with the frame together. And also, trying to get the glass only replacement is nearly impossible with these new modern Samsung smartphones. If you have to do it at home with simple tools like this, 99% of people are going to fail and they won't get pleased with the result. It is nearly impossible to do it at home with basic tools. You will need like a shop level equipment in order to remove the glass, clean the screen, then attach the new glass, use a machine to laminate, and then use a machine to remove the bubbles. Too complicated for you to do it at home. Even me, if I try to do it, I know there is 70% of chance that the screen is going to get damaged. So if I can't do it, most people won't be able to do it at home with basic tools, a wire, a heating pad, and all that. So I am saving you time. Just get a new screen or go to a shop that has the required equipment to remove the glass, replace the glass, and seal everything. At home, you won't be able to do it. That's why I tell you, if you have a broken screen of a Samsung device, even if the LCD is good, just try to find a replacement with the frame attached on it. If you can't find a store or a shop that can replace only the glass. So after that, this is the last part that came from the device, the 5G antenna that was here. So previously there were this one was still here previously, but there was another 5G antenna connected to the motherboard and coming all the way here. This is why you have this slot for the other 5G antenna. Maybe they stopped doing that and believe that we need only one 5G antenna here and stopped having this one provided. In the past also, this, if you had a device without a 5G antenna here and none here, it will be an international version. But since I have only one here and this one is missing, this might be a new design standard moving forward with only one 5G antenna. So everything has been removed out of this Galaxy S25 Ultra. The only thing left for me is to reassemble everything and make sure that it is working.